March 2nd. March 2nd. Okay,
You're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There we are.
Video games.
Right. That's the theme. Let me do my 16 updates of Discord. I don't know why it does. Hey, we need 16 all the time. I was wrong. I wasn't wrong though. It said
So just
16.
using the
How good does that Jelly keyboard work?
Not good. I mean, it's okay.
Sure. I mean, it at least reach key strokes, right?
Yeah. If I had to use it all day, I would be like, man, I don't like this. But I literally have it for on the go, like, oh, I need this. Because if I start touching this, it starts shaking. So, but
I was just curious for like something to like a phone or something like that. If that would be like a handy tool for it.
I mean, yeah, that would make sense. I think it's more length of time. Like if I had to use this for like 2 hours straight, then I would be like, I don't like this.
So not a lot of spring cleaning on that. They can get.
Yeah. Events.
How's your Wendigo game coming along?
Going along okay-ish. I kind of took a break from development for a while, but I did finally commission a custom model for the Wendigo and put that in about yesterday, actually. Fully rigged too, so I can like start animating with it tonight.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do the spiel. You know what? I pretty much have it memorized. See if I can do it and get in front of this.
Hold your eyes. Go to the mic.
I get.
So here is two technical need to find out more information of technical goal. The goal is to grow the grassroots tech community of Oklahoma. So have it, or go to the website, check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no say there's a that's
For the next part, probably here at Boost Choose One. Boost Choose One provides a space free. They offer a full paid though. They have booths, co-working space, and access. And that's my on sending things for. So
Yeah, theme for tonight is there is no theme except we have a convention next month. So this is your first time here. But you haven't been here before, right? Or have you?
What's that?
Have you been here before?
Right.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right, I'm Daniel, so it's nice meeting you. So you can have that. You have one, I believe, who's a guest. Okay, so October. The idea is everyone's bringing a project and going to show it off, and we're all going to play it and have fun. The weekend before, we're going to go to the anime festival thing and find all of the other nerd people and give them flyers so that they will go to the event. And so that should give us the over 50 people to make it all worth it and stuff like that. Who here is stuck on their project?
I started.
You started. Okay, cool. So you don't think you're gonna have anything there?
No, I think I do. It's just I built the hinge for because I'm making that arcade cabinet that I was talking about. And I made the hinge design. Decided to scrap it and go with a new design. So I'm busy rebuilding it because I wanted a better breaking method methodology, so that way it does the table doesn't come back down.
Okay.
So
How much space are you gonna need?
my idea is it will be an arcade cabinet, so no bigger than what I had last time. And it being an arcade cabinet, it's literally me bringing my table.
Just grab one. I'm technical sitting over here. Yeah, you're good.
We got seat over here if you want.
Okay, so you can stay here, dude. It's all good. You're gonna need more than usual space, right?
No. Like I said, so I'm basically bringing my own table. I won't need table.
You're bringing
space.
a table.
And so therefore, I should.
Yeah,
be
but
able to pick up-
Everyone else is taking up a table like that big.
Yes,
so-
my table's just gonna be at the end, like.
You're gonna be at the end though, okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone else, Ches, how many laptops and stuff are you thinking, or?
I can bring 3 total.
Okay.
But as long as I bring one, it's all good for me.
Okay. Based on all of the tables and chairs that we had last year, the people that went, hey, Jenna, you need to talk to Carissa. She's the other artist. And then you've talked to Adrian. Sorry. I'm trying. Eventually you'll meet Brandon, and then all of the artists will have talked to each of the artists. So that's your last connection you're missing.
Mhm.
Okay, where I was talking about tables. So you're gonna need 3. Who else is needing more than like usual table space? Or is everyone else just on a laptop?
How big are the
I've got
tables?
tables, I'll be there.
Yeah.
So
There's tables there.
How big are they?
Just imagine like this small half of this. I'm bringing
That should be
one.
good.
I'm bringing one, or if you can bring me one,
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
because we're gonna have.
This time I'm gonna be way ahead of the curve, and because I'm bringing that arcade cabinet, I want to be there before anyone else is setting up.
Yeah. And then dude, we'll gather around. You don't have to move.
No, that's fine.
Okay, it's all good. It's based on the sunlight. We're gonna close. If we go over here, sunlight hits these tables.
Okay.
That's what it is. It has nothing. It's up to you. Okay, yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
No, it's all good. All right. Does everyone know what time to go there? I know that's like a weird quiz.
No, that happened to us last.
So that's where we're all right. We're here longer this time. All right. So it says 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's a lie because this is for guests. We have until noon to 9. And then the idea is don't come before noon because we haven't paid for that time. Circle was gracious enough, and you know how they have like the big marquee out front? So they're going to have Tulsa Game Festival as like the marquee thing. And then I'm going to drop them off flyers so that they know, hey, and they have like an event board and stuff like that. So we're not supposed to bring food there or anything like that. So go get food, plan out with other people how you're going to go do that.
Does the Circle Cinema also have their own, like,
Yes.
a theater food? Yeah.
Yes, if you want that, if you want drinks and stuff like that, they have plenty of that. I think a bar. Please don't drink while we're doing this. I know there's nothing that says we can't technically. I mean, there might be something in the bylaws of Tucklahoma, but because we're at another venue and like they're doing that. But there's gonna be like, I feel like if I were to do that, I would accidentally curse in front of children.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to everyone avoid that. So I'm just doing for us a no drinking policy while we're there. As soon as it's 9 o'clock though, and you want to get something there and just chill, that's more than welcome.
Okay.
All right, so we're passing all that stuff out. There's free parking. No one has to pay for anything. That's that event in the sense of the logistics. Well, tear down at 8 o'clock. Everyone start tearing down. We have till 9, but do you guys really think it's going to take over an hour to tear everything down and get all your stuff in the car? Yeah.
Probably not, no.
And then it would probably take longer to put the things. I do have the here you can grab since you're new to this also. We have the cards. So whenever you meet people, the idea is make sure everyone leaves with some form of card because this has everyone's portfolio, everyone's game, stuff like that. And so we want to make sure they're able to get to the website and actually find all of the Tulsa game developers. All right, I'm going to shut up and let you guys ask questions if you have any. And then if there's no questions, did you want to talk about the next big event after this? Okay, so does anyone have any questions?
Does this include board games?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you want to bring a board game?
Yeah, I've got a board game.
Yeah, I would bring it. How much space do you need?
The one I have is bad, but it's pretty big. It's kind of big. I can.
How
bring
many
like a
how many tables do you have access to?
Oh, I have access to 4 6-footers and 2 12-footers if you need it.
I don't want to do a 12-footer.
Oh, no, I don't either.
I don't want to lift that into your truck.
Huh?
I don't even want to lift that into the truck.
Yeah, they're nice. They're big aluminum ones, so
Can
they're really
you
like,
bring that? So if he brings that, I would get a tablecloth.
I
though.
yes, yeah.
Oh,
Definitely bring.
so I don't need to
bring
bring a
tablecloth.
table.
These things are
Bring a tablecloth so it looks nice on the
they are
thing.
but not a table. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're getting the four 6-footers.
Yeah, I can bring 4 6-footers.
Yeah. Do you need help lifting those, or you got?
Yeah, yeah. They're relatively light. They're plastic. So, but when I pull up, if any people want to help, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do that. Clouding. Do you guys know what clouding is?
No.
So when you go up to like a booth and it's like, oh, it has like, here's a tablecloth and it's like it's lifted up. It's on like one of these things and it's that's called clouding. So if you guys want to do some form of clouding, if you have signage of any kind, even if they're giant signs and it's going to be really annoying, just bring whatever you have, because why not? If they freak out about something, cool. Do not put anything on any of the walls that are there. And so that's that. So
I have art easels that we could put posters on it if we wanted to do that too. I'm worried about floors.
I don't have anything that big.
Yeah, I don't have anything that big because my thing is the big thing.
Yeah.
That's it. So, but I wasn't sure like if we had anyone who had posters or you don't want to show off artwork or anything like that, game development artwork or anything.
I think if anyone has signage, they already have like the big signs that like pop up.
That's fair.
All right. Chez, you ready?
Yeah, no more questions for you.
I don't think so.
Cool. So we've been working, collaborating here with War Guts for another event. It's going to take place on March 2nd, so early next year. They have a pretty good big area near Southwest Boulevard and Route 66.
Yeah, I'm done there.
Yeah, and it's a really nice place, and they're lending out pretty much the entire area for us for about almost the entire day. And we'll be the only people there. There will be an entry fee of $5 per person coming in. That was kind of just for paying his part of it. That was kind of a deal, lapping it. But pretty much unlimited table space. Like we can't bring enough tables for that. And there'll also be computers that they'll have for games that we can bring to download. I'll bring him a flash drive, and we'll have one game, unless it's a multiplayer game, on every computer. I think he has about 15. So as long as your game is published somewhere, we can put it on that computer, and that, of course, it has to have a functional tutorial as well, because it's just going to be on its own, and people can just come up and play it anytime. We kind of are thinking about doing some sort of raffle-like thing, so treasure hunt type-esque, where somebody will go around, they'll have at least 5 games on their treasure hunt sheet, and they have to do something and get a stamp or a signage or etc. We're still working out all the details, but from the developer of that game itself. And if they get enough votes, they can turn that in. And it's been tossed around a little bit, but we might just stick with like you get a free Steam key for one of the games that are at the show.
Ooh.
We think that might be a cool way to involve everybody there. We think we could just hand out those for free to everyone who pays $5 at the entrance.
Yeah.
Cool way to involve everyone. Yeah, so it'll be like an all-day thing. They have lots of computers there ready for people to have their stuff on, and of course we advise you bring your own stuff too. On the table, it can be non-complete, but on the computers that they'll have there, it has to be complete, published, and have a working tutorial, because you can't hover over those computers. They're just going to be blank. Other than that, I think that's about it.
And when is that?
March 2nd.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty much an all-day thing. I just realized I didn't have the time, so I'll text him for the times in which they open and close that day. Yeah. The other questions?
Are we doing competition like CSGC, or you have some, or just a voting like, hey, here's the best?
I think we'll just do a voting thing at the bottom of the sheet. You can say which game you like the most out of all of them available there.
Yeah.
And after everyone leaves, we can just be like, hey, you were voted best for this year. And if you create like a custom sticker or something like that, they can put it on their Steam page.
Is there any like a hard no on VR games, or could we maybe discuss?
There's more than enough room we can make
Yeah, you can bring yours, but I don't know about leaving it there.
Oh, yeah.
On
I
there.
definitely, that was my only question on that one.
It's a pretty big area. Most of it will take place in one large, that last area that he showed us, the 10 garage-like area.
I think it was the cage.
I think I might have a game that's perfect for the cage, and it's the game that I can show you guys here in a little bit. You don't actually have to have any inputs to play, so they can stand outside the cage and still play it. It's a big screen up there. So I'm thinking about
All right.
Hey, just a VR setup, I take it.
no, it's their streamer setup.
We'll stand up and talk about.
So yeah, it's like a TV. That's like
Give me like 20 minutes to make sure it's
No, cabin.
not a weird debug. Oh, the cabin jam. Oh, that. Okay.
All right, so Glenn is going to bring up Cabin Jam. This is something we've been talking about for like the better part of 6 years.
Yeah.
I decided I finally want to do it after I just showed up here
Yeah.
a year ago. So the idea is that we rent.
Here, stand up, stand up.
The idea is that we rent a cabin through Airbnb or Vrbo, something like that, somewhere out in the sticks, that's on a lake or a river, some other waterfront. And while we're there, we develop a game over the course of either a week, weekend, partial weekend. Develop a game, publish it on Steam, all done from the cabin. And the whole idea is that if you get bored or you need help, you just take a break and go out on the water and go outside, touch grass instead of actually staying inside all day. So right now we're looking at, I guess, just either late April or early May to get that all done. It's way far ahead. So is there anyone here who'd be interested in that? Right now there's a poll and there's a whole Cabin Jam channel in Discord to get that done, where I asked what engine we want to do. Right now Unreal's winning, which I don't mind. But yeah, hold on. Do a show of hands again. Who wanted to do that? So 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm assuming.
Oh, that's right. You're gonna leave, right?
Well, I'm going on a pilgrimage.
Spiritual journey.
Yeah, so I don't know how long that's going to last.
Okay. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 people, right? Something like that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's a channel in Discord for that. We'll be posting updates. I have a short list of Airbnb locations. I still need to change the date on that from September to probably late April. But you can pick from those which ones you want. Right now, it'd probably be about anywhere between $200 and $300 per person, $300. And that doesn't include food or transport, anything like that. Obviously, we would probably carpool between 2 or 3 people. I would assume everyone else could also be on their own for bringing their own food, what they want. If they want to share it, if they want to just bring it themselves for a communal thing, that'd be fine. But we're still getting all the details sorted out, so it's all deep.
What about the actual? So the game's going on Steam.
Yes.
Is it going to be for sale or is it going to be free or what did you guys?
I still think we're a ways away from that. It can be free. It could be for a cheap price. You're concerned about like revenue or who the money's going to go to, right?
I don't
No.
know. Well, if you have a bunch of people and then it like turns out to be a hit game, but it's like
But that's not going to happen.
I know.
God forbid it does.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, no. No, I don't want it to be a success. That's
Yeah.
just it's supposed to fail. It'd rather be free for like a really cheap price, so nothing huge, something put together in a week or so. It's obviously not going to be.
We do it where every person that's working on it, that meets the price. It's $1 per person. That's what we sell for. And then that's how it's.
That works. So that'd be like what, $4 or $5 per.
Yeah, something like that.
well,
And
add
each
a
like
dollar
30%.
for Steam or
Oh, yeah.
free because they get
30% that fees.
Because otherwise it would be 75 cents or something.
So we all get
Yeah.
like 30 cents per sale.
Yeah.
I mean, go for it.
It actually kind of works out though in terms of that, because then it's evenly split and you don't have any headaches. So
Yeah, I mean, I hope no one's going to get mad over their split.
Oh,
We're all sane people here.
That's the sort of thing you just want to address up front. That's all.
Yes, it's not going to be like a Lethal Company hit where, oh no, we have $45 million now.
I think Lethal Company though thought Lethal Company wasn't good. Yeah, it was made by one guy.
You got one 21-year-old, nothing but like Roblox games. Yep. Still mad about that.
All right. So, is anyone working on anything that they're stuck on? You're like, man, I don't know how to do this. Whether it's an engine, art, you're doing
Kanban.
you got a board game.
Yeah, I mean, I finalized it a long time ago.
Okay,
I just haven't done anything with it.
that's life.
It was copyrighted in 1989, I think.
Okay. Oh, what do we got? I think I did that.
Oh,
I don't think
no,
anyone's
no
watching.
one's watching. Streaming into the void.
I mean, that's, well, no, there's 2 people,
Oh, there are. Hello.
but,
Say something.
Hello, they'll show up.
all right, so if no one's stuck on anything, does anyone have anything they want to show off? I know Ches had something. Are we gathering around you?
I
We couldn't get the
put it
TV.
over here.
We didn't get the TV really working last time.
This one,
That, or the projector.
we weren't able to.
Do you want to put it here, point the screen towards the camera, and then we all just gather on this side?
Mhm.
Is that cool with everyone?
Sure, I can do that.
Everyone loves to get set up.
So there are 3 different versions because I wanted to talk through it about the development process I've been in so far. So if I can get 3 different players in total, who wants to be the first one?
I'll go for it.
All right. As close to this as we can.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Squeeze around there. I assume it's mouse and keyboard, right?
The first one actually has no inputs. So
Oh, okay.
if you want to come sit over here, you just have to be close to it. Because this first one was more or less a prototype of some stuff I mashed together here. Say something to the computer. Hello, computer. Oh, wait. So it's based off of Wi-Fi, so this is an online game.
I'm on Earth. Everything is so big and amazing.
And I just
Look
kinda
at those tall
mashed this
buildings.
one together. I'm like, I wonder
Do you
what
think I can find
an
a giant
anime
cookie?
protagonist thing, whatever.
I want to try it. Cookie Sparkles, what else do you have on this planet? Is there magic? Or maybe a karaoke machine? I love to sing.
We don't have any magic here. So it's using some script called Rigamoso.
no magic
or
matter.
That's
okay. Maybe I can find some cool
I bought it off
stuff
the Unity
instead.
Asset Store.
Have you ever had a
It,
giant
but the
marshmallow?
first part, it comes in 3
Or
different
maybe we
parts.
can make a fun
That's
thing
the
out of it.
speech to text,
What do Earth
and then I send that speech to text
Let's
to
be silly together.
OpenAI,
Sparkles
ChatGPT.
Rainbow.
It was by far the best option available at the time. Because it's so ridiculous.
You said it was the best, and it said it was by.
Bye bye. Reads excitedly. I had so much fun.
And then I think on
If you
this one,
see
it's
any
using
giant
Microsoft
cookies or
Azure.
marshmallows, let me know.
And both of
Have a
those,
super
it
awesome
sends
day.
it and then it gets it back
Sparkles
through
around
the
Sparkles 2 hearts.
Unity Web Services. I did try.
You said the weapon.
Oh no. Weapons. That sounds scary. Face screaming in fear. I don't like fighting. Can't we all just get along and share snacks instead? Maybe we can make peace with a cupcake. Shortcake Sparkles, what do you think?
Make peace with the cupcake.
So I did find Microsoft Azure just be a
Yes.
tiny bit slow
Let's
and
face
a little
excitedly,
bit
let's do
less
it.
human-like than I
We
want.
can have a big
I did
cupcake
try
party.
offline versions of all of
Everyone can
these,
bring their favorite
which
sweets, and we
included
can share
Llama
stories
3
and giggles.
as the GPT
Party
engine,
popper Sparkles
but
and
that was
cupcake
very
for everyone needs
intensive
no
on
fighting.
the computer that I was trying to
Who
run.
wants a sprinkle surprise?
And I don't think
Spread
a
some
game
imaginary
with
sprinkles
graphics
everywhere, peace
and
cupcakes.
Llama 3 would run very well at all.
Have
Shortcake
you tried
2 hearts.
using Phi 3? It's a lightweight model made by Microsoft.
I have not tried that one yet, no.
Yeah.
But
Just picking up where everyone's here.
Oh. So it's a special text.
yeah, I tried doing it where you can interrupt it,
That
but
sounds
it
super
started
interesting.
interrupting itself and then it would talk to
Sparkles
itself.
and learning about new things.
Spiral that ended very
Is
badly.
it like a robot friend? Can it help with making
So is there like a
cupcakes?
goal to it, or is
Giggles
This
is-
one, there's not. No, this one was just more or less a test of the system. However, I did advance upon it in these other ones. So this one does actually have a goal. And
Why are you looking at me like that?
so this one, you're going to choose who you're going to debate against. a crypto bro, a Mormon, a Karen, an HR representative, a radical activist, a female officer, a rapper, and a druggie, and a crooked cop.
Hmm.
I want to fight the carrot.
Hi there. I'm Karen, and I manage the neighborhood HOA with a firm hand. What's your name, so we can get this little situation sorted out?
My name is Justin.
Nice to meet you, Justin. Unfortunately, I have to inform you that you violated some HOA rules, and I'll need you to sign this fine. Let's not waste any more time, shall we?
What rule did I break?
You've gone and parked your car on the lawn, which is a big no-no in our lovely neighborhood. Trust me, you don't want to make me repeat myself. Just sign the fine, and we can move on.
What car was in my lawn? What car was in the lawn?
Oh, come on, Justin. It was that shiny blue sedan parked right on your front lawn. Hard to miss, really. Just sign the fine, and we can forget this little incident ever happened.
I don't drive a shiny blue sedan.
Well, that's interesting, Justin, but it doesn't change the fact that I saw a car parked on the lawn, and someone has to be held accountable. Just sign the fine, and we can move along with our lives.
Which lawn did you see the car parked on?
Sometimes she goes in a little bit of a loop.
Which lawn or which house had the lawn that the car was parked on?
It was that property 2 doors down from yours, the one with the ridiculous garden gnome collection. Honestly, it doesn't matter which lot, just sign, and we can wrap this up.
Okay, but it's not my lot and not my car.
Oh, you went down.
That's hard to believe, Justin, but I assure you, I'm not making this up. Just sign the damn fine.
So this one's
and
still
I don't
using
have to
the same
escalate
one
this further.
as
You
last
really don't
time.
want that.
It's a little bit flushed out a little bit better, and it sends ChatGPT 3 different messages every time
Listen,
you say
Justin,
something.
I don't have time for games.
It
Just sign the fine
asks
and we can
how
get this
the
nonsense behind
your
us.
AI's
Trust me,
character would
it's in your
feel
best
about what you
interest.
said, indicating the frown on her face. You haven't been very polite to her, I guess. And then it gets in relation of how you are fulfilling your
well,
objective,
You might
which
think it's funny,
it's
but
that
I'm just doing my job here.
don't sign the
So
fine.
how about you stop wasting my
And then,
time
of course, it
sign
sends it the
fine?
message
We
and
can have a
asks it
longer
for a
chat about this
response, and
situation.
then pastes the response there, and it sends that to Microsoft Azure in this situation, and it gets it back. However, I did have a problem with Microsoft Azure.
I get it, Justin. You're not happy, but neither am I. Just sign already, and we
In
can
which,
both
for
move
some
on.
reason,
It's the
you had to
easiest
go
way
through an
to handle
entire
this.
100% process for making a commercial product with it instead of a test product. And I couldn't even get through the website as it kept blocking my access to my own things. So
This is based off a real experience.
Lucky. Let's not pretend like this is a stroke of luck for anyone.
Chase, why aren't you trying to do this as enterprise software and actually like get this into companies?
what's that?
Why aren't you trying to do enterprise software with this?
What do you mean?
Like go to actual companies and be like, hey, we'll do negotiation training, we'll do this, and just find some certification and be like, yeah, just put all that information in there and just do it.
I haven't gone too deep into that, but however, in this next example, I did switch from Microsoft Azure to something I think is way better and faster, actually. And you guys are probably familiar with it if you've touched any AI thing before.
Mhm.
So my final project uses a not Recognisimo, but a different software which is better at getting your speech, because as you saw before, it was kind of a little messed up. That was Deep Tone or something like that, I think. Also a Unity asset that I bought. And then it goes through OpenAI still, because that's just the best option I had available. And it's almost instantaneous with its response, and it's very good at its response, and software is very easy to use, so I was happy with that. And it's very cheap too, the cheapest of the online models. Awesome. So
Yeah.
they did a really good job at controlling the market there. And then I switched to 11 Labs for speech. And they were a lot easier to use when I initially went through the documentation. Thought it was a little too much. They are a little bit more expensive than Microsoft Azure, or at least I thought they were. But they are a lot better and a lot more customizable. You do have to press to talk on this one, though.
That kind of works up on it.
Greetings, Earthling. I am Zorlax the Uninhibited, ruler of the Flim-Flu and master of the Guzu Snap Dimension. What name do you squishy beings go by?
You just press on that button there. No, you just press.
Okay. My name is Justin.
I think I'll make it like a space double or something like that.
Justin. A name as amusing as a three-eyed whopper on a home stick. Since we're getting cozy, how would you feel about a little chat about, I don't know, obliterating your planet? Just a thought.
Pretty good.
I can create custom voices with 11 Labs. I can download special voices like this one. And
Why do you want to blow up Earth?
Oh, Justin, it's not personal. I just figured your world could use a little sprucing up. And nothing says renovation quite like a good old explosion, am I right? Plus, the confetti would be out of this world.
So did you script any of that? Like, did you tell it to like?
I do its initial prompt as you would with normally with ChatGPT. And then I have a dynamic prompt that I send with your message every time I send it out. So I say, hey, I have to tell this character, hey, this is how you're feeling about this other player. And a few other iterations that change rather frequently because the AI itself, if you ever played with ChatGPT, it's very kind and subtle, and it's not very good at reaching a resolution in a debate. So I had to say the character's doing well, and you either lose or win, and how you feel about it and stuff like that. It's really funny because I was debating the druggie for a while because I thought it was my favorite one to test. And I was pushing its boundaries a little bit. I wanted to see what it's capable of. It is capable of cussing. I didn't think it would be. It was capable of asking for drugs, which I didn't think it was capable of. It was willing to do elusive things for those drugs if I said it, but not if it said it.
Oh yeah, classic Dan.
So you suggested it.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna say no, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a radical response, but a favor for a favor, I guess. He's like, oh, okay. And with the likeness fun, it was pretty fun because it would start cussing you out and stuff over here. Because I'm like, I'm calling the cops. They're like, fuck no, don't do that. And over here it's like, okay, I'll give you some drugs. And like, I could just kiss you right now. And I'm like, awesome. It's getting the emotions through and every time and stuff like that. And this is kind of one of the things I wanted to show off at these game events. I feel like it'd be very marketable and very fun to play with, and I can create different models and characters very easily. It's just off the.
How do you win?
In this one, not much to win. You just convince the alien to go away. But this one's actually a little hard since he's very persistent, and you have to say the right things because he's told to trick you.
How does your game engine know when you've gotten to the win state if you're just making calls?
That's just an integer try. I ask it every time you send something if this is actually working towards or against. In this version, it's its objective. And if it feels like it's getting away from its objective, you gain points until you reach 20 or 0. And it can automatic. I do ask it, if you do think that the player willingly gave up his objective, or if you feel like you completed your objective fully, just shoot to the end. So like with a police officer one, the female one, she's trying to take you to jail. And you just say, I'm not talking to you. I invoke my rights. Take me to jail, and you instantly lose. I thought that's cool.
This would work out very well for like a werewolf-esque game, like where you're having to interrogate somebody. And then you could also introduce game elements that basically you tell Chat GPT that whether or not yes or no, and then the game elements that you do to have proof against Chat GPT be like, hey, we have this on you, we have this on you, we have this on you, and then have Chat GPT kind of break down and then tell the truth.
Oh yeah.
No,
With the
like a paper,
right?
yeah, like Papers, Please or something like that, or it's something that's in like
I was thinking, you're thinking LA Noir.
LA Noir would be also an acceptable one. I was thinking in terms of like styling and stuff like that. It'd be very simple to do like a Papers, Please, because then you have all your documentation or something there. I actually had a similar idea, but I was going to do who has the parasite, like a brain parasite. And what you do is you would like change the temperature of the room or something like that, and that would cause twitching and stuff like that to appear. But like if it actually interrogate the person via talking would be very interesting.
Yeah, I haven't thought too deeply into social deception, but I have thought lots about how I want to make a game built around this concept. I do think that this is kind of like the future of games, or how they're going to run sometime in the future. I can already imagine like Skyrim-like games where you just run around and talk to the NPCs if they're like a normal person. Maybe not every game, but I do think that would be a more or less standard next maybe 10 years from now.
I've actually seen a mod that does.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that's what made me feel like this is possible.
I know, right?
Like, oh, that exists.
That's exactly where it springboarded me into the whole deception game idea.
At the time, I'm thinking about doing like a Renaissance era merchant, so where some guy comes over, you buy goods from him. He comes from exotic lands, and you sell those goods. But if you weren't familiar, medieval times didn't have a price set. It was all barterism. So you get to set the price. And I did get lots of inspiration from Papers, Please, because I did want like multiple factions in the area. And like, let's say a lady comes up and her son is sick, and she's requesting the medicine, stuff like that. You can talk to her about the price, about what you want to set that medicine, and what she's willing to pay. She'll have a set amount, she'll have a willing amount, and all of that stuff is frequent, with the exception of the set amount, obviously. She only has a certain amount of money in her pocket, amongst other things. And if you help certain people out, and it enters and affects the world, I did kind of want to expand upon that, as if you could eventually become the king of the area, and you get to make rulings about people's crimes and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't really know where I want to go with that one, but that one might have multiple talking people in the area. And I thought that'd be cool too. I also thought of like a dating sim would be pretty cool with that. Something not too crazy. I also wanted to work animations in. You saw the second game, I did kind of have an animation controller. This one, I just put the idle loop on. He does blink and move his mouth around independently, but that's just a different software, the Unity Asset Store, that's able to interpret the audio I give it to what it's going to do with the audio.
With the audio, can you put inflection in it? Can you like tell the audio that it's supposed to be an angry tone or a soft tone or anything like that?
I've kind of been looking into that. There was a software that did allow me to do that, but its response time was pretty ludicrous at times. A longer sentence was running me, or like a paragraph is what I was testing this all on. And that one ran about 20 seconds to generate the paragraph, but it was the best, maybe even a little bit better than 11 Labs. And I can put stuff on, like he says angrily in like dashes or whatever. I would have to figure out a way to mix up those strings to where it doesn't present that, doesn't say that in the string, amongst other things.
Okay. I want to
edit the audio file after I get it to produce that, which would increase the time it would take to. I want it to be almost instantaneous. The Wi-Fi here is pretty slow, but it still had a very quick response with the 11 Labs and GPT, so I'm very happy with that. I thought that was going to be a big impact on it.
Yeah, I definitely noticed like a difference in like just how fast everything was with this demo versus the other two.
Yeah, I kept wanting to improve upon that because I wanted it to be fast and accurate. That was my mission with it. It needs to be able to get your words accurately, and it needs to be generating the speech fast. So both GPT and 11 Labs were both the fastest and the best options that are available in my conclusion. The speech to text is not as fast as Reconissimo, but it's more accurate. And a lot of people have different speech patterns, so accuracy is a little bit more important on that end. Speed.
Yeah, we got chat.
We got Robin says she is watching. Elliot says, how do I get to 36 degrees north south? Just head south, which is actually a lie. I thought they were meeting the regular 36 degrees north in downtown.
We are.
The game is going along Great Ches. So you got a fan.
Yeah, she's a little sick. She didn't come up today.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential with it. I haven't concreted what I want to do with it yet, but I do know that the demo I want to show at is going to be a little bit better than this. I might keep the alien. I don't know if you guys have any more funnier ideas that I would have on a big screen with lots of people watching. That'd be funny to interact with. I might go back to the previous ones where you can select between those avatars and they have different quirks. The Crooked Cop is actually the hardest because his objective is to put you down, and it's very hard to get out of that. I mean, because he's crooked, he's always going to get his way.
On a presidential debate. That would work great. No matter who you are.
I suppose, yeah, a debate in which you're not going against the opponent, but you're going against a third party. Kind of like you're going for a judge between the two people, not
Yeah, like
Not
you're
objective.
town favorite or something like that.
mhm.
What about a cat lady?
A what?
A cat lady.
A cat lady?
Yeah.
Like an old
That'd be funny.
senile, can't see very well, like where here's maintenance or something like that. That was kind of funny.
I don't know if there's Wi-Fi at Circle, or do you have a hotspot?
I might have to do a hotspot if I can get a Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That's a lot of data, I'm assuming. Well, I don't know how much you take.
It's not super small or anything.
Just get a really long Ethernet cable,
Yeah.
run it through their office.
I don't know what kind of setup you're gonna have, but you might want to get like a stand mic or something. Because I imagine it'll be a lot of
Yeah, I bought a mic. I got to bring it. Would have been a little bit better for this.
Oh, that the weird there's a VR accessory where it's a mask that covers just your mouth that you act as a pop filter for everything else.
Speaking about VR, since this is not intensive on the computer at all, really, other than just displaying a video more or less. They died.
It's not intensive.
It's a little bit of an old laptop. Unity still rather, but I can pretty much put that on anything. With a phone, you can just tap it and say it, play it. I can make that into a mobile game. A VR game would probably be a really cool fit.
Oh, yeah.
That already comes with mic, and it's more intensive and brings you into the world. I can expand upon that to pretty much encompass anything that has at least a built-in mic, preferably, and a Wi-Fi at all times. I am looking for suggestions on that. My imagination doesn't run too wild when it comes to the storytelling. So, any suggestions on that?
I got a whole head document about to throw at you, just like giving you a heads up on that.
Please do. Yeah.
I really think you should go the corporate route. Be like, because people like, okay, you go to a sales team and then you sell them the software. It's like, oh, they come in, like you download the software, you play it, and then,
Inside the game, or
yeah, and you play the game. But no, like you would go to a business out here and then you would sell them it as business software.
that?
Yeah, and then because there's so many soft skills, negotiation training to sales.
I've actually applied to a company that was what they were selling. It was an actual VR setup, and the idea was that it's HR training specifically.
Yeah.
Handling very sticky situations without having to have another person involved. And then on top of that, and then was great used AI to then grade your responses and stuff like that, as well as your inflections, choice of words, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's called Moth and Fire, I believe. I don't know if they're still running or not, but that was a startup that I was looking at.
but even selling it to colleges and schools as an add-on of like, okay, they do, how do you call it, job training. Like, oh, you're going to do an interview, do the software, and you take that, and see if you can all that age. I mean, I think it'll be a fun game, and I definitely think you're right. It's going to be in Skyrim and stuff like that. But in the time right now, I feel like you could strike all the it's hot and get a bunch of enterprise money.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's very open. I can do anything with it.
Yeah. So I'll also focus. Throw your game design document at him now, or
Yeah, it's kind of that Alien idea. So the Alien idea was actually supposed to be a VR game, and the idea with the temperatures and stuff like that was you would have to like for instance, you get a memo, oh, the parasites hate liquid, and you have a coffee mug right there, and stuff like that. You'd have to be able to casually test the person across the table from you for those types of things, as well as like have various types of quick time events, like, oh, they can survive longer with lack of oxygen, so you have to put your mask on, or through floods with gas or stuff like that. Eventually, this would build up to inciting the player that it's possible that they have a parasite leading up to that, or even that the parasites never existed. This is all a government ploy and stuff like that. And then you would basically have, a split road in the middle of the game where you could start, letting people go with parasites, supposedly. That kind of stuff. Again, very much Papers, Please sort of styling, but I wanted to go into a branching pathway where you could, the parasites win, and it turns out the conspiracy was true, or anything like that. And then the endings would be decided randomly, which is the truth. And so therefore, allowing the player to replay it multiple times to get the truth. That just kind of sum up the document. There's also other factors into it, like it's specifically what the mechanics was. I felt like it translated very good in VR and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of the speech stuff is pretty straightforward and modular. Like for instance, the coffee thing, you're saying all you need to do is send ChatGPT a string. Yeah, hey, this player threw coffee at you, and then maybe paint the scenery if this is your first interaction with it. You're on a spaceship, this is your name, this is blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Other characteristics. I even went as far as some of them was like describing what their character looks like, just in case it comes up. So, mismatch information, like say they have purple hair or something like that.
Yeah. Because the other things that I was thinking with it was that this would allow a person to VR, but also sit down VR, because you're always at the desk. So I was shooting for a very much like a I expect you to die kind of game layout. I'm not sure if you play that series of games or not.
I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with
You're
it.
familiar with it? Okay. It's very much a sitting down kind of game. You obviously have telekinesis and stuff like that to move stuff around, but it's very much a play box kind of scene. And so that would be sort of the styling that you're going into it. You have a desk with drawers, you open drawers, there's a gun in there, I'm gonna save that for later, kind of situation and stuff. And yeah, so I feel like the ChatGPT would work out really good, especially when it comes to interpreting the actions of the player, so that way the player can't be min-maxed the game. And it's supposed to be more of an interaction than it is supposed to be a game.
Does anyone else have anything they want to show off? Thing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off on this.
No, I was gonna say we can sit down if everything's done. Yeah.
It reminded me of some of the main scientists is to inject people with holes, and then he's asking the question.
So what's the? You didn't bring the board game, I'm guessing.
No, because I didn't. It's my first time here. I didn't know if you guys brought games here or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a game basically based on chess,
players' choice, what they have.
but with different like a different board design, different game pieces, different objective.
And then it's revealed that, oh, guess
Yeah, I
what?
could
We're actually in Academy Tree.
tell you about it, but I just-
It's easier to play it.
Show you. Huh?
It's easier to show it. Yeah.
Like the story.
It's
for
got
it's supposed
instructions
to
on how to play.
What
All that kind of
allows
stuff. It's back in the day, like in the early '90s. I tried to send it out to two game companies like Mattel and Hasbro,
Yeah.
Baby Toys, stuff like that. Instead, I had to use like a middleman.
Yeah.
For a middleman.
You don't have to do that anymore if you looked at stuff lately?
No, no, I haven't.
Hang on.
Like I said, I have a whole dev doc for it.
May
I wanna go and-
submit.
We wanna go and-
with-
Yeah, I could help you set it up.
Oh, like caps lock.
I've had people play it already, so people have, I've played with people, other people have played it. I've watched it, and questions have come up. What happens if this happens? Kind of.
Yeah, so this is Mattel Ideas. So they're always looking for stuff. They're like, yeah, send us your stuff, give us a review, give a video. It has everything you need to know.
Is that a website?
Yeah,
Mattel Ideas?
yeah, Mattel Ideas. My Mattel Ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and then Hasbro has theirs.
Yeah, because
So
they're
just
just to have ChatGPT.
they're gonna say no. That's not the point.
Right.
You go there and
Yeah.
you're gonna find a middleman. You're gonna find one of those things, you know,
Right.
whatever. But you never. If they say yes, what did you lose? If they say no, it's like okay.
I mean, I thought about different ways to try to get it out there. I tried to send it to, Paramount, see if I can get on Star Trek or something like that. They sent it back. My next thing was, since I'm a Kansas City Chief football fan, I was gonna send it out to one of the guys who has a channel on YouTube
Provide
talking about the
premise,
Chiefs,
then premise
and
again.
then try to get it to one of the Chief players through him.
Yeah.
Kind of make like a special design, Kansas City Chiefs wood and everything.
Yeah.
It's a laser engraver, the 3D printed pieces. But I was thinking about, I saw something on YouTube where they're using molds.
Mhm.
And I like the idea of a mold better than a 3D printed piece.
Yeah. That's it can get hard.
Get rid
Though.
of the ridges.
Were you on the Craftsman website or his YouTube channel?
It's
It's from like Louisiana or something like that.
No, I mean, it just, where did I see
I
that?
think it might convert it to Jason.
I saw,
3D armor.
well, I saw like how to make chess
Did that
pieces.
though?
Yeah.
And so it brought these molds that
Because it matches it.
someone had made or something like that, and all you pour in the material that solidified and just break them out of the mold.
Yeah.
All my pieces are pretty much, most of them are pretty much rotationally symmetrical.
Yeah.
So you could spin them on a lathe or whatever,
Okay.
and it would work. You might have to make some minor changes, but they were originally designed and redesigned by a friend of mine. The board was redesigned, and now it's pretty much in its final look,
Mhm.
the way I like it. But it's a pretty interesting game. The idea is like you've got pieces over here, you've got pieces over here. You have two pieces in the middle,
I was.
and if you're on this side, this piece is trying to get through.
Okay.
The three spaces on the outer ring over here. Same for this piece over here, going through them. So it's similar to chess,
Yeah.
but the idea is different. There's different rules and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it was too close to chess, they would
That way.
told me when I went to copyright it. Copyright it.
My theory was that-
No, it's just it's older.
But it's older than that.
Yeah.
So, but
You
it's
can do your
a
own
new take.
variations.
It's a new take.
Now your logo and brand, you can put all that.
Yeah.
But like your whatever you call it, you can brand it, and that can be its own thing.
That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, so I was gonna, I guess, try to bring it to that thing and have people look at it then. Because you guys only meet like every once in a while, right?
Once a month, second Thursday of the month, and then we have the big. Well, we'll meet the normal day on October, and then we have the big event.
More or less like.
So I was gonna try to make it to that, although it would probably after 3.
Yeah.
I could even be that.
That's all. Just show up.
But yeah, if that's gonna happen, I'll just bring it to that.
Yeah.
Let people take a look at it later.
Are you from Oklahoma?
I'm from Tulsa.
You're from Tulsa. Okay, yeah, same. But
Yeah.
most of the time, someone's from Tulsa remote. So
Oh, yeah.
that's what. Yeah, this guy.
Oh, you're not from Tulsa?
Yeah, I moved here a year ago for Tulsa Remote.
Oh, okay.
Especially here, that like if they're from Tulsa remote, chances are they at some point they had an office here or something.
Oh, okay, gotcha. See, because my wife is here for another reason, and so she saw online where
Yeah.
game community was coming out to the same spot, and so I decided to come out, not knowing, what it was going to be like, because
You have to phrase.
I haven't heard of too many people coming out with board games necessarily. Mostly these days, it's been like games like I don't know, Humanity Z or Black Myth Wukong or whatever.
Yeah.
The newer type games that
Chris and Jack or something.
people are playing.
Yeah, I think there was.
And so I didn't, if it was like that.
That's the one where you,
I'm out,
I wish
but
for this.
board
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
Simple board game. Yeah.
So if you get a website, see, this is all the games that have been made in Tulsa. We can throw you on the thing, be like, oh, this is my game, and how you can find it and all that. And we have this is our portfolio site, so it has other meetings and then these things. So you can put on there if you have a company.
I do not yet. I haven't.
Well, if you buy a
done an
website,
LLC yet, right?
well, if you buy a website, if you have something like that, like, hey, this, just as a placeholder or whatever, we can throw it on here and be like board game maker, and stuff like that. Because like we have like Justin Meyer, he does motion capture and stuff for video games, but he's still a developer because he's working on stuff.
And he puts his stuff on his website.
Yeah, and so that's his website, Justin Meyer for Hire. And then we have other groups and stuff like that. So yeah, that way, I would just build them into get a website, hey, this is a video how to do it, and just get the ball rolling. That way you can easily send it to people. And
my next question is, do you guys worry about someone stealing your idea?
No one's gonna steal your idea.
No,
There's too many anywhere. There's too many. There's too many games. There's too many. Yeah. Even if they stole your idea, they'd be like, well, actually, their idea sucks and they should make it better this way. And then they're just going to go, they'll steal your idea, but then they'll go do their own thing. They won't even finish your idea. And that's best case scenario.
That's the best chance.
Yeah, of like if someone steals your idea. The only one I could think of, one company announced a game, and then there's literally companies that what their job is, as soon as they see an announcement, is to make a game as close as possible to that game as quick as possible. Like if you announce a game, they essentially have 1 week to get that game out the door. And they're only going for big games and stuff like that. And they're the ones that I would worry about. And even then, half the time they're so broken or nasty. What ends up happening is people see that game, they're like, oh, I see that. And then by the time your game comes around, they think your game is that game, and then your game is better. And then they're like, oh, yeah, this game is great. Well, it turns out they were getting advertised. You were just using their advertising dollars. Yeah, you use the momentum of like you're getting stuff.
Well, I'll wait to put it out, so I'll let you guys take a look and see.
Yeah.
You might not, hit.
Yeah.
Or you might not like it, but,
It's not about if we like it. Have you been to Shuffles yet?
okay, let's try to go there.
Okay.
They seemed uninterested in my game.
Well, yeah, at that stage they are, but you could reach out to them and be like, hey, I want to do a demo night or something like that. Or, how much is a booth or whatever. And then you just rent out space and be like, hey, we're doing this. And then have like a test night where people come and test it out. They're always into stuff like that.
Well, okay, and also on that, like I said, I have had people play it, but I do want to have a few more people play it just to make sure that it is all the instructions on the rules and everything are like airtight.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, he forgot to do this. What happens if this happens? Kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it would be. I still need a few more people to actually play it.
That would be, but that's why you would go to the Shuffles and do that, is so you
Not
can.
really play it. Oh, okay.
I would get a bunch of, call them tissue testers. They're people that are only going to play the game once. You give them the rule book. I would get a webcam and just record it and be
Oh,
like,
okay, you can do that. Okay.
I don't know if you can do it there, but you just do it at your house or whatever. Just get some people that have never played it, have them play it, read through the rule book, see if they can make it through the game.
But that's what that was my next.
Yeah, and then do that, but definitely record it because it's going to take them. By the time they read it, by the time they figure out how to play the game, by the time they actually play it, you're looking at an hour worth of footage minimum, right?
Yeah, I kind of already did that. I took the game to one of my friends' houses,
for free.
and several people just kind of sat down and played. I didn't record it.
Mhm.
Some people played each other, and then I played some people and stuff like that. So
The reason you record it is so you'll hear stuff like, oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? Or, whatever. Or someone else will say something while you were explaining something,
yeah,
and that's what you're looking for.
I will do that again.
Yeah.
I'll do that again. Probably.
I would do it once a month until you release your game. So if you're like, hey, I want to release the game and I want to release, whenever you're going to do it.
Sure. Well, I'll still bring it to this. But
Yeah.
I'm totally happy.
Yeah.
Um,
The biggest one is momentum on it. Like if you just sit there and it's in a closet and you're like, oh, I still have that game, it's not going to do anything. But if you're like,
right. Well, like I said, I sat on it for
Yeah.
1989.
yeah,
It up.
a little bit of waste. So I don't know.
So yeah, what's everybody else?
Nothing right now.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm just been flooded with work. So
Same one.
He's actually giving me more, not time off, but time off the phones.
okay.
Yeah. They're gonna have me work on like Power BI stuff or Power Apps, which is shocking. I'm not like Godot.
Yeah.
It's all like tree views and everything like that. Drag and drop. Yeah, the game's going well. I have my whole list of things I need done. My whole mini Kanban board.
Like
So what's your game?
Do you want to show him?
That was just from
Good. Have him. Have him.
The only thing I did was.
Just show him off.
You know, for standard.
The main reason we do all this is so people will show their games off and stuff like that.
Yeah, had I known I'd have buffed my prototype.
Yeah.
This game position.
Get
Sure,
past the
one
lyrics
second.
of what you done up to this point. Yeah, like a barrel or something. You killed the grandma. You sabotage your brother. Different every time.
What's the objective of this game?
So the idea in this game is that you are. One
You
second.
want me to come around?
Exactly.
No, I'm just getting ready.
Get it.
Yeah. Could you give us some more tips about how exactly you have to wrangle the
So the goal of the game is that you are a new IT worker at this big mega corporation, and your job
Half of it, we come up to.
is to basically make sure that they are all up to date. They give you a list of tasks each day for what you need to
I
do.
have two different
So,
prompts to which I give.
use arrow keys or WASD.
Or this to. Now, what am I trying to do again?
And that message again, it's just kind of describing stuff.
All right, so you
Sorry,
use
sorry,
the arrow.
It's never gonna change.
Let me get what I'm trying to.
So you are the IT guy at the company.
Yeah.
You can use the arrow keys to
Give me an example of
So we do that right now.
this, or alien, you're on Earth,
This
you
business-
know,
oh, I see.
if you're talking to this, other stuff. As
You
in,
made a lot of art. Good job.
you
I did.
never say you're.
Oh, is it like-
or whatever.
Yeah,
Voice
there's
acting, voice acting.
it's not voice acted, but
And,
you can just click through that and say that term.
Mr.
Those change every time you speak to it.
And these are all placeholders. Those I was.
It gets how it feels about you or how it should feel about you. ChatGPT will always be happy. So lucky. I have to tell him like, hey, you hate this guy.
Yeah.
And I like
Well,
remind it every time.
Oh, I got some glasses.
It's probably.
Yeah,
make
that's
it-
my fault.
Sorry, guys. I'm probably like twice you guys age here.
How old do you think I'm
Wait,
rating
58.
that by?
How old do you think I am now?
Hey, this is what the player said.
28.
I am
Return only
36.
Oh,
numbers.
So I'm not too far.
you're young. You're young.
Not a day over 40.
Yeah.
Acts or your character,
Pretty
how
good.
your character would feel about this. -2 being very negative,
Okay, so.
+2 being.
I honestly would have thought you were like maybe 41, 42. So
Oh, man. You're very kind.
Yeah.
So I read this. So now,
Five or below, you meet the player, and then I just.
I'm still kind of
that, and
wondering what I need to do. Just, what do I need to read? You need to read more?
Blah, blah.
So,
There's not-
So there's just a conversation you're having with her.
also every time you see like that, just keep.
Yeah,
on
that
going.
means it's done. But next, and then
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like after that, but all the chat messages, how is it? Pretty good. Message, you know, after like launch like a sales kind of like
Yeah, I was afraid of that, but through my testing, it turns it into some sort of its own type of array, and I think it also stores on their side.
Because he really wants to meet you.
No, I think it stores on my side, and every time I send it. Not 200% sure, but I do know it keeps a collection.
got a lot of text up front.
Not the one.
I think it keeps it.
This one.
Is that
It's it.
maybe. I think after this is pretty free flowing. And conversations are a big part of the game.
yeah?
As soon as it.
People kind of know that going in, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The short time I work with the guy, I understand.
So I am,
Yes.
this person or this?
You are the white voice.
I am this. Okay. So now,
Maybe it's gonna be everything
talk-
about the previous conversation, but the
What-
context.
do I go somewhere or- I'm trying to leave.
Longer conversation goes on, it could start with anything that's just older like that. And
Oh, I see.
one thing I thought neat, what actually
Now I
was,
get a little space.
in ChatGPT.
And you can hold it down.
Game
Huh?
You can hold it down. You can tap it.
I don't think I read it.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, well,
That's
it
not
now has a permanent.
I'm just trying not to run
where
it.
if you tell it to remember
Are these-
something, it
so-
will remember it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it remembers it across.
okay,
profiles.
technically that's not supposed
Yeah,
to be there, I forgot to.
Yeah, I thought it was weird because I
So,
wanted to
what's
make
not supposed to be
pictures
there?
and
That
it started
picture.
making pictures related.
That's on the floor above you, it's not supposed to be visible yet until you go to the next floor.
So it's a bug.
Like,
That's fine.
here?
I don't know.
So.
This one. Over here.
So I know the.
Stairwell to the right, that would go to the next floor, would go up.
Obviously. And I do know that it asks for your name at the beginning and it'll keep your name for that entire conversation. I could do a test to see if it remembered my name from the last conversation, but I don't think it.
So I can go to like any room.
I don't see how it's like handing off the data or something with the person that's.
Eight back game to 16 by 16. We got to do that.
Is there anybody? There's nobody here. I'm just kind of navigating around.
It's just you.
That's,
And he was really good.
yeah, so you guys are already-
The biggest thing we have.
I think, yeah, I thought about that and the code
Oh, I see.
would be, I would run
Where
a
do
pretty
I-
similar to how I run it here.
So it'd be that big
I
box
think
on the
I
left side.
would-
You can drag it there, or
I
you can
would
double click.
run a raycast to see who I'm looking at, and that's the person who I would run GPT through.
Did I do that?
I had an idea for, in case of.
See, here's where the age thing goes. You guys would probably know what to do with this automatically,
This whole great.
but I'm like,
I know this is good.
Yeah, no, we need to know this sort of stuff
Yeah.
because you'd be surprised how many people play games at any. Because even now, I'm like, hey, you should do an options where you can adjust text size, and be like, okay, or do that.
First thing he tried to do was click to move.
so this is like,
Yeah, oh yeah.
this is like a,
Yeah.
yeah, the
That's
HR kind
the
of thing,
It's like,
right?
yes, I take
Okay.
populate.
So what's the objective though? Okay, I had a conversation with the first individual.
So if you were to look
Now I'm
at,
trying to settle in.
yeah, if you were to look at your PDA, bottom left, there's a list of tasks.
Here?
Or you have to.
Okay.
Click on that second button, there's a list of
What would be
tasks.
the most likely next question?
Right here? Or
It displays on the screen.
But that was again.
Might be a bit- It's a bit hard to see though, some of the laptops.
Oh, I see, it's black. Yeah, check email.
That was the idea.
So that's your current goal.
What's that?
That's your current task.
Okay. All right, so
So this kind of the script that GPT.
How do I get this
Obviously.
off? Oh, the email.
But
No email.
this is kind of.
You click that first one, that's your subject most.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to find a better font to read, and I know it's terrible.
What font is it?
It's the
A
static.
terrible, really bad one. I tried to find like.
I would do
pixelated one.
Whatever.
For right now, I'd do Roboto.
Roboto's good. Have you ever tried Aptos?
No, is that good?
Yeah, I mean, that's
The idea is that
That's
it's,
what I use work.
the idea is that the game is set in the 90s.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find something from that era, something that looked like it's from that.
Helvetica,
Oh,
but I think I gotta pay
Yeah,
for that.
copyright.
Yeah.
I looked at some of the Linux fonts, some of the free fonts in that era, and they're just bad.
Still learning it as well. Oh, so you are actually started having challenges if you play two different. Yeah, categories already. It's the concept of separating it out with the manager and stuff like that. Yeah, on this one I did, yeah, I separated it from manager to user, and I just say speed word at a time. I feel like that gives their responses.
The computers are a bit limited.
That was like, I asked.
I should be able to
Yeah, you have to.
get them to do it.
I just switch that back, but I thought it was really funny because I thought it would automatically.
Okay, and what you can do is you would press escape to go out of it.
Like it was.
Let's just go up here.
Or you don't,
I meant to add.
Oh, okay, okay.
are you? But I mean, you're gonna. It's on your to-do list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, no, but yes.
No, yeah. Go.
And then you would escape again.
And it literally said it like your voice. It's like, yo, man.
So a mouse-only version
To.
seems to
I don't
be.
feel like he's really giving me those drugs.
That'd be good, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I just don't really
Like,
know
oh.
what I need to do. To navigate. Just
Yeah,
move-
that's-
just move around.
It's still very bare bones. I'm trying to
Gotcha.
get everything set up.
Maybe do something like that with what you was talking about having.
Is there like a
So I will add a proper intro that explains the whole gist. of it.
Usually those sort of intros and tutorials you don't want to do till pretty much you're done with the game because then you know them inside and out and you've watched enough people do it that you're like, no, it needs to be said this way.
Yeah, I can easily.
Okay, so you're so it's basically like you're interacting with your environment in this space.
Yeah.
And when you every square is different,
that would be it.
and
Yeah.
you're just trying to interact with each of the individuals within the space.
Right now, those are just placeholders since I don't have actual yeah.
Moving how Rebecca and Jeffrey and Bob Boss feel about this. This is the whole feel about this, and I haven't returned, and I just have to interpret that string in some ways. I would be like, separate that each comma and interpret each comma and prop string into an integer, and then I can relate those in which order and just give them.
You get really good at this job. You get free polo shirt.
What characters store their own status, basically. So when making a call for ChatGPT, asking for
Yeah,
all
that's it.
And so right now it's set to when you talk to them the first time, you kind of
yeah,
these two.
we determined
Have we met before?
what the motion was behind this. Tell us, let's just do it.
So what did you use to for the question answers?
The text system, that's a plugin I use called Dialogic, where it's like a big tree view. You can decide like, add this as a response, add this as a question. And if this is true, they say this, if that's true, they say that. Very helpful.
So
And so they're.
I mean, I'm assuming you're on the phone, but like you don't have to play through the whole thing, right? Because there's a bunch in there.
Sure.
But from jumping into it, is there anything that you're like, man, you need to address this?
And I would have been false.
Or do you think you've said?
And I wait, then when it's that.
So
you upload the.
So first of all, so you think the top down is the best way to do what you're trying to do?
That's why.
I totally get that.
That would just go in there and open each stream.
Obviously,
What is this player?
you want a square.
Yeah, those would be proper characters as well.
Right.
And the werewolf example that's pretty
Did you-
straightforward.
Because, yeah, there's a goal, there's a.
You think the up and down and left and right arrows are the best way to navigate?
The first thing you try to do is click to
That's right, just this.
So yeah, I should probably have that. That would be good.
Also, on the similar one, you want it set up like, okay, if I have a controller plugged in, I can play with the controller.
Yeah.
If you play with the wasp or the arrows,
Yeah.
have multiple inputs.
This is where, again, the age gap. The games I was used to playing back in the day were like Ultima,
Yeah.
you know,
And you had
stuff
to
like
click
that.
and stuff.
So, not too dissimilar from this, but Ultima was top down. A tree, then you're here, and then the tree's over here. So
Yeah.
kind of thing. But these are different. But there's a guy I watch on YouTube play games. His name is Brian Bernard. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But he plays like take the game. Have you ever heard of Humanity or Black Myth Song? Either one of
Yeah,
those?
that was newer.
So yeah. So he's playing on his PC using this. And I'm like, that is so corny.
Yeah,
that's why this is like, what do I do next? Because I've never played, except back in the day when all it was just that. That's all we could do. And it was very slow. This is like, I've just been out of practice using this.
What was the last console?
And so, obviously it works, but
That would be.
that's what it's still be.
What was the last console controller you played? Do you remember? Like an Xbox or a PlayStation of some kind, or?
So that's just it. After like the games when I was a kid, I didn't play computer games.
We did.
I started playing like back in the 80s, I started playing games like Galaga and Centipede, stuff like that. Got away from like computer.
This sounds like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is person. It sounds like this. Pretty different.
Yeah, I went over to my friends' houses and they had Commodore 64s and we put in cartridges. And they had controller.
Yeah.
Mostly controller. So this was, but I mean, someone who knows, someone who's more comfortable doing this, obviously this is no problem at all. You know,
So
as long as it's spelled out how you navigate everything. It looks great. It's got a great look.
That was the one thing I was afraid of.
Yeah, the look.
The art, yeah, because I didn't make the art. I paid someone on Upwork to do it.
Oh yeah.
And when I initially got it, I was
That's what I'm kind of getting at.
I thought it looked good.
concerned, and I had to make a lot of changes and tweaks to it to get it where it was.
You're gonna do that for the
To
rest
get
of
the look of it. What'd you have to tweak?
Basically, a lot of things weren't lined up right. They weren't quite.
Where,
Like some of it's my fault. I didn't quite go into detail how everything else wanted. Like I said, like if it doesn't take up the whole time, have it centered, but then that ends up screwing up a lot of things. How I was going to put it in. So there was a lot of back and forth, but we did get it worked out. I still think it
It's actually not bad.
Really?
Yeah, because if there's a bunch of back and forth, like if you give a very detailed, like I need it to look exactly like this and do this,
Yes.
that's one thing. But if there's a bunch of back and forth and it took so many hours and stuff like that, then yeah.
It's very straightforward. All this right here, conversation. Easy for someone to understand what's going on with it. That's an assessment tool. Sure. Oh, yeah. I'm just one of those guys nowadays. It's like, that's me. Let me just go like that.
That is something I could.
As game master, you're going to be like, does the butler say this?
Oh, what is that?
And then the
That's just the.
That's the guy that I was talking to.
And that's one that's noted.
And then that was bigger.
So now the idea is that in your that email in your office is a box of cameras, TV installs. So if you were to go back to your office,
And so that way it's
The
random.
one
that's where you were checking your
right
email.
here.
It's random.
That's where you're checking it. So go back down. Next to the right.
But that way you check
Down the hallway.
You're not trying to control two characters.
Goes down here.
Yes. Except for the idle, and then just have it, have the computer determine.
Oh, yeah, so you get just like.
To then throw the character back.
Do I know where my office is?
Playing with like 2D lighting and stuff like
That's great.
Yes.
What about for this one?
Now,
I mean, this would definitely not.
how did I know that was my office? How did I know that was mine?
If you were to ask Jamie when you first came in,
You would
She
that
told
was
me
one of the
where,
questions.
she's telling me.
Like how, you actually burning somebody and you just slowly, doing that, you would act.
And that box on the left.
This right here.
Yeah.
Hold them in
You were to go up to that.
and whatever that's
Not that.
Server.
That box to the left.
And then
Oh.
whatever you have to
This right here?
happen, then get a page status.
So that's a pickup count.
Now if you were to go back to your
I want to work in. Very
in that first icon, and that's how select that. And you can move the mouse around and then you can place items in the box.
That's cool. That's cool.
I just got the mouse movement today. I thought it'd be a lot harder to do.
That,
Instead of speaking.
that's very nice.
Start speaking.
And then you just click to leave it there.
Yep.
Right, the delay acts.
Yeah, the delay would act as the reaction.
Okay, so.
So the goal is to get the maximum amount of coverage. For how many licenses you get? Is there how many cameras I'm trying to
Give you
Close to that scale. The scale within, coaches the animation.
So that, and that's part of the game, trying to figure out how
Yes.
to.
This combination of things reads this.
Yeah. Yeah, I already have that part.
I would lose this game every time.
Or that would be
Because I.
one is.
Oh, you haven't gotten to the twist yet, don't worry.
So, yeah.
So I wanted a way to search
Actually.
for words instead. Like for instance, if ChatGPT ever said you, I wanted a
I'm thinking of going back.
point. Yes. That with the animation controller, I might be able to just maybe not even with the animation controller. I would just like create a string of reactions I would do.
And then you would
That would
escape,
literally
go back.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You're going to add a return.
Yeah, in that controller, sure.
Okay.
One of its nodes
Gmails again?
to a player.
Right.
And that node would just be more responsive for the index. So
Right.
yeah, you can
Store in.
So, yeah.
Storing in positions, and then have ChatGPT.
They're full of
And so what you do is you're sending it stick within to indicate shoulder up, shoulder down, et cetera, And then ChatGPT will.
So the next
just,
thing
just up,
Is
down,
getting the server
basically,
configured.
because you want to be able to have it spit out coordinates correctly. So you'd have to have relative spacing for the animation to understand, or for the model to then move to the, what's, the field designated as up. And it's field designated as down, so then you would just label, those fields. And then, I'm still bad at satisfying it. Doesn't work out so well. Whereas, if I wanted the NBC to cross its arms, as it's a comfortable or whatever, yeah, you'd have to hand go left and it's nice to have
Servers or?
cross. Yeah.
You server?
And then whatever I say.
Search your key card.
Your key card's back here with the computer.
So you're saying, ChatGPT would say, I could come out with my character.
What's this thing?
Yeah.
So.
I think what would be better, ChatGPT, you described the here.
Oh, down here.
You then have a script that runs through that determines animations based on the crossed arms would be the title of the
Let's get out.
then put that into the animation. Cross arms. So you'd have to have separate animation controllers in each model in order to combine them together. So that would this
over here.
You have to go back to the server.
Over here.
You could add.
You have to use it.
Scan. It would move over there. Yeah, so you have separate animation.
Confusing it, but how I need to.
Separate animation.
Here's your key card.
Well, first you need to move over to this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To the server.
Then you would just have, return trees to an idle state, but you would have that.
Oh, sorry.
Whether or not.
It's a key card.
It's just, we're not doing that. Yeah, like just once the new times cross instead of you're doing T-pose, huh? So yeah, that'd be really easy. That would actually be really easy to set that.
Double.
Because then you could also block up where the animation tree doesn't.
Okay, so.
Because your hand's over here, so you can't.
This way, you just need to know. You need to go.
So you
can either click and drag or double.
No, you have your hand up to a wall. You can't move that hand.
And then these people.
Curious. You tell ChatGPT. Yeah, these 10.
That helps. You've already got it. Does that wait till that is animating it?
Sure.
Like, so I wonder.
So you just click on each one of these. So.
There's first that, and that's what it's, but it's like. I would be worried that it would like, so it's the overuse, like, across the entire.
Yeah, because then how do you avoid it having a cycle? Well, we should probably just still check it all out, see whether or not it already has its arms. And then if it already has its arms crossed, there's no.
Have I installed?
This is good.
Okay, then, yeah.
Paragraph or something like that.
So,
Well, it was already bullying.
Edward Bennett. Edward Bennett.
Exactly.
It's almost like, can they teach? Oh, cool. It's like,
Vision permission.
I wonder how long.
Okay. I don't have access.
So just ask.
So.
Okay.
Now, you look at your PD environment, it's 5 to work days over. So.
Yes. So that's exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what my head was originally. I give people kind of its own space in this sense. Like the station
Then you go and leave.
You have control this thing, and then you can move next to yeah, like
what's the
space?
It is
up and down and left and right. Where does this start? Yeah.
1 second.
So you already have a pretty space of things. So how do you make it where it's more fluid in those pretty different spaces?
I think for stepping stones, I can just have it forming those. Yeah. Every time. Yeah. So I tell it, hey.
This is probably a good stop.
So like it's
Because the other half of the game is that while you're working for this big mega corporation, you're also working for this like rebel group. So you are basically an agent. So all these cameras that you install later at night, you have to in the office to get around.
After it does, it would be.
That is how far removed I am. For a game.
No, that's right. You did good. I saw a lot of different things that.
Too bad for old guys. Yeah. So
Some of that stuff would change, like it's on.
That's kind of cool
Did you like it?
though. Yeah.
Daniel.
You're the first person to play.
That would.
Oh, really?
We've got other
Oh,
people
The first
playing.
person to read.
To read the,
To get through a full day.
Glad you forgot to get your name out. Sit over.
what's that?
Glenn.
Would be.
Oh, Glenn, okay, nice to meet you.
Separation.
Daniel.
Yeah. And so who's Emily?
Emily is part of Techlahoma.
Oh, so she doesn't come with, she doesn't come with these things.
She
And
has,
I would chat GPT.
No.
Just describing what.
not to ours. There's other events that happen in town. There's a ton on that Techlahoma up there.
Thank you, though.
Side of that.
So like,
That way you
Uh,
can combine it all.
she's in charge of, I forget her official title, but she's basically a big boss of Techlahoma. And a lot of stuff has to get approved through her and done through her. And it shows, she makes sure
Yeah.
the week to week, month to month,
Things
things happen.
happen.
Go smoothly.
Gotcha.
Have you been to any other Techlahoma meetups or anything like that?
No, like I said, this is the first
The other thing would be.
I've ever gone to anything.
Yeah.
Like any.
What's your wife going to? What event is your wife going to?
You know, I'm not
I don't know.
sure why she's here. It could be several different things.
There's no way for me to.
She makes jewelry, she is doing some HR stuff, the ceramic stuff. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Wait,
Once we develop more characters, that's just
She's
flash.
I think.
So.
But yeah, I don't know.
Lines of AI.
She just put on our calendar, you know,
You're going there.
360. Yeah, so.
We'd have to figure out
I'm just curious.
better communication.
I saw people that I knew go there and I was like, oh, what's going on? There's a party, you know, but I got it.
We just gotta spot them, we don't know.
Yeah, I used to have my pictures,
Just say, yeah. It's like.
the game board at least, but I don't think I
Not anymore.
took it off, I think. Because I went to the library and used their laser engraver and kind of the board, initially the board is too big because it's like, the first board is like that, by the way, it's huge. So I went to like a smaller version, had to go in and use their 3D printers to bring down the ratio for the pieces as well. But I have
Everybody's.
two prototypes
Knows everybody.
of the big version, and I guess that's what I'm gonna have to bring.
There are good guys, which are.
I went into the library to make the pieces smaller, but I never got a chance to actually do that. So they're only like, the pieces themselves are like, from the table, it's probably about like that tall, the tallest piece. But, I mean, you'll just have to see. It's kind of like if you took two chessboards, curved and set on each other.
Okay.
That's kind of like, so you'd have wedges.
And then there's.
Yeah, it's wedges. And
most powerful ones, able to tell.
like it's, I based it off of chess. When I made it. So like in chess, you have a bishop. So one of my pieces is a victor. In chess, you have a knight. So my chess, one of my pieces is a squire. So you know they have different names like that. Rook, chancellor, queen, duchess, king, duke, stuff like that. And I know it's just a little different. It's chess-like, but it's a little different. Yeah, but it's not chess. So it takes a little more concentration, only because you not only, you know, rank and file, but you can move on a spiral, kind of thing, in and out. So it changes. So you have to really make sure where you're watching on the board to make sure you don't get like attacked from like seemingly out of nowhere.
Okay.
But yeah.
Bring it next month. We'll be here in October. What's the? Most likely, it'll be October 10th.
October 10th.
That will be the next one here, and then the 20th should be this. Yeah, this is the next big one. So I give you 10 days to work on it between come here, get some tests, and then
Yeah.
Micro expression.
Yeah, man. So it's always the same time. So 6.
yeah.
Whenever the person lies.
Yeah.
Or something.
For sure.
I think there are gonna
Can't believe I
That'd be a lot of work.
really just couldn't find it.
I mean, yeah, but it would get found out.
That's
what happens.
So how long do you guys usually stay?
Till 7:50. 7:50. Then I tell everyone, all right, we got to start packing up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go be like, oh, let's go out and go to this place. You know, whoever wants to go. But for a lot of the year, we've actually had launch parties where people like put their game out for sale on like stores and stuff. So we had launch parties and stuff. And then,
Yeah, that was another idea of mine too, was to make just like different prototypes of the game and then take them to like game stores
yeah,
and just set them up, display. Just have people go, what's that?
right.
And it's like, this is a new game. I can't get it yet, but it's also deals with this game. You know, trying to get some interest in it. And how does it look and all this kind of stuff. So, but I never got around. That's the biggest thing. I never got around to doing stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a flavor.
And pretty soon I'll have some time and just trying to get that out.
Right.
You know,
The biggest one is don't lose momentum. Like, hey, I want to finish this and get it out there.
gonna try.
You'd have to teach
Try.
Yeah.
rather than a game, you're actually in that
Glad
scenario.
you guys this. Yeah, that's good.
This person, this person,
That is-
they're
that is-
they're in the
The
best.
fact that that
They're
board
in the-
games
the bundle
are still, you
stuff
know,
like that, and you have the player to
considered, I guess, in an era of
and then you have
computer
the guy
games,
inside
electronic
where they
games, and stuff like that.
Well, I think
Programming games.
Yeah, maybe.
the issue with board games for a lot of us are you make one game, you sell that one copy, well, that's it. Whereas if like Glenn's working on this one,
Yeah.
once he finishes that game and he puts it out for sale, he can sell infinite copies.
So for that, you'd have to worry about the publisher, right?
Yeah. So that's why most people are more drawn to video games, because it's like, oh, once I make it once, I can sell it a million times.
My other idea was to approach someone who programs video games and to make a board game of video games.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something a lot of people do as well.
Elliot does freelance, and I'll introduce you to him.
Oh, okay.
Just as a actually, let's do it now.
Huh?
Well, I'll do it now and say hey, and then because he probably has a card or something.
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, on that, what do you think I should have as a presentation? I mean, what do you think would be really funny if I had something on screen?
I think the aliens makes you look good, but I think you should have it where the aliens to determine if they're going to, if you have an alien's hand, rather than on-screen like this view, his hand drifts towards the destroy red planet or the green or go home button. And you just have his hand determined by checking. If it goes split animation, you literally just have the hand on the side, one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, so basically, now you have it be where the alien is addressing crime and everybody has a problem so that you should. Well, because we have puppies, stuff like that. And that way about puppies. I don't care, I don't like puppies. Yeah, and then you just think it, right, basically let ChatGPT decide randomly based off of it. But it's likes and dislikes. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I have like.
Yeah, I think that would work over as well, because then everybody would have to go up, press the space bar. Okay.
Oh, like people in real life,
Yeah,
actually.
people come up in real life and they do that, and you have the alien just sitting on the screen, like determining whether or not he's gonna fall off the planet, and then that way it's interactive, everybody can watch it.
Yeah, that would avoid somebody hawking it.
Exactly, so everybody comes in and asks one question.
Well, you're also doing multiple reviews.
And then you can even have that,
It is going.
On, like, you've already stated that about her. So you also then have all this.
You can check.
Not on character art, it was on a tile set.
Did you feel like you got a good deal?
Exactly, and so therefore you.
Maybe I had to make a lot of changes to it. Yeah, so it's probably my fault though. Yeah. There's something on your mind?
Huh?
Is there something on your mind?
No, just checking in with you. By the way, kind of MIA for a long time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah.
Work has been.
That's literally.
But
Yeah, like the speaker.
It has that outside, just checking.
Yeah.
like like your.
Starting with that hard, or is it? Because if you have it, then it's fine.
It's a go for me.
All right.
That's the unfortunate part.
Yep, you're good.
And then he was.
Um,
Said the game on the microphone.
Wasn't intended, but
I hope you haven't felt guilty about it, right? Like,
no. Well, I mean, of course, there's going to be some guilt because I want to hurt him.
Yeah.
And you know, but I did set that expectation in the beginning that I'm busy.
I think that
and
scenario,
that's
so
what
it can
happened.
not be anything, it could be other characters, but that scenario of that being the UI determining whether
Really
it's
sucks.
with or lose.
I've been
Well,
just putting in like 16 extra hours a week.
let's bring the Catman and the.
And I get home and I'm like, I just
deciding
wanna
which one's going to feed the cat.
Like play as something and then go to bed. But
For some reason, I've had 6.
no, I overheard you say you paid a lot of money for art and stuff. I mean, it's always good to
Yeah.
kind of check in and make sure that you guys aren't getting like
That's the brand for fastest.
it's tough shopping for art out there.
Yeah, I mean,
might be less dynamic.
I guess my initial thought
That's why I
were
thought
that I was underpaying for art. I asked online about it, and he said like, no, you're not paying enough for this. Like, this is what you get for this price. So that changed it up a lot. So then I put on new requests. I found one guy.
Was he charging me?
Give me an idea of doing something with like this. Have you seen those like YouTube videos or guys? Never like.
Go ahead. Play test.
Cards or whatever, and they're like, person's like messing with them. Like if you could like have like a desktop interface and be like you're the scammer trying to get the.
How long did it take the artist to get you the taxes?
I think
Potentially being
overall the whole contract was about a few weeks.
About whole center simulator.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
feels
goes off
just
your-
getting
it
it.
goes
A
off
lot of back and forth.
Brother, here's.
I only have that sample. Oh, about,
Yeah. So what we got?
Computer on.
Around 500. Yeah. And I also had a deal in my car that gave credit card. They gave us
The dog
$100
as
and
well.
that was
Because we said.
It has some fun stuff, but when it comes to like, oh shit, I
Figured it out.
I mean, I've had it for a while, but it's still.
Yeah, I've been so disconnected lately, so.
It's cool. 2 characters.
Great job.
Way, 4 characters at the bottom, walking down the road. And then he would do such a weird shot back there. Like, no, I told you. And I remember we skipped over doing this. You're like, no,
How much
we're
did you
chasing something. It's the opposite.
Well, initially, I was looking at $500 for character artists, and I was asking for like an absurd amount of expressions for each one. Like I think I had wanted like 3 characters drawn and like 25 expressions each. 500, once you leave, you're underpaid.
It is kind of a tough market, right? Everybody's kind of got their own price tag. It's not like a little Walmart. This is the MSRP kind of thing, you know. But it looks good.
I mean, do you like your own games? Or whenever you look at your art, you always think you can do something better.
So
Exactly.
but that doesn't mean that it's not good.
I don't see any other. We still an option. Either way, yeah, doesn't really work out in the other scenario. Yeah, we got either A going offensive or B going instead then we actually will have. We still need to balance this offense. Well, we need to balance the software as central place. So there's a pretty good idea too. That would have been another. You're not just debating against the person who's based. That would be a good test.
It's a limited tweaking, and there's still a lot of limitations because of what I'm doing.
And when you have the person, they're questioning the person to the moderator. And so you have chat channels, you have 2 characters. Be it, and so if that also works with the microphone, so and then you have the moderator and then do that. basically the question has been presented to this person. Yeah, so, and if they have one of the characters, like, I would need swap out.
Participating or else get the-
You have one game offensive, so there's an interruption, because the chat GPT will just have to negotiate properly. You just have to make sure that,
That's not good.
chat GPT spits out. Like,
Oh, I think I know.
when it starts, and then you just have to leave the camera in active. Or, yeah, it's all the weird stuff. That one is.
Would that be as fun for somebody to play at an extension?
I think it would, because then anybody would go up and be like, I'm using a flat screen or edit, you know, the bird,
I thought-
where they got. I just, we'd have to get a here like, hey, I use that voice for one, so I just assumes.
I would just make it a super reflection on
Yeah,
it.
very funny.
Yes.
You look like
you
you're
made
busy
like you
getting-
back in the old
Take
days.
you away from my.
Nice, good.
The lactose and hair-free.
So, this is the
no
navigation.
sugar.
Problem with that,
Yeah,
having them both stacked on top of each other is that. Basically, what you're supposed to do is use these navigation layers.
Question.
You see here.
Yeah,
This is what you're supposed to do. Basically, I got this over. The problem is, like, we'll stack them on top of each other, and they cannot touch each other. So instead, we have these navigation links, they can intersect each other. So basically like islands, these navigation regions. These links connect together. So like, like up here, there's another guy's office right here. But then that's right with the break room. So you have two of these links right here.
Right, or like use your Canon present. I like.
This is, these are on the second floor. So you kind of have to look around that. It's huge giant microwave nest.
Navigation.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
God, it is like because the whole thing is kind of like Hotline Miami, where like whenever you went upstairs and just go to full levels, but like. So that's like in
But,
the
I have ideas. Yeah, especially like with that, the field of view at a convention idea. If an Xbox got to actually get that working.
And you be around carbon people, so try to be social.
We have
Yeah.
And I only do there to get it.
Yeah,
I'm expecting that
where you draw this, you draw your, you draw the stuff like that. I was leaning towards, I wanted people to make like a box, they get a box to draw, and they draw whatever they want. I wanted to like make it more of a war piece, sure. Where my idea direction.
But did the second prototype you had?
You found out about that.
The whole list. The controller, everything you can see, like, there's gonna be a bunch of stuff. Like, let's go to Ferguson on making 100 friends. I didn't know anything about drum sets. I got the nature language of the, so I'm sure that like. Yeah, and you did that when you were the one asking questions. Yeah, you come back here no way I didn't expect anyone else to. You did a really good job. My car, that's not even my house. You're running that like, oh, God, my action. And the police officer was, well, yeah, I was like, I have an alibi. They're like, what's your alibi? I'm like, I was playing games with my brother.
I've been using it every 3 years. I never knew they could double click. Oh. Okay. So yeah, I mean, like we have stuff. Everything is messed up. PlayStation. You can see everyone in the background. That's what we're about.
But PlayStation, in theory, if it passes through the which they still out.
So like once that's just stream for everything.
No, but like they didn't tell that. start. I think it's the buds or anything with all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna find any of that stuff again. I think you're gonna find any of this.
They're not gonna get big engagements. Nobody's gonna sit there and play all of
Are you gonna have a drawing tablet for that?
No, I don't know how to. That would, I don't have that would be tablet, and I don't know how I would import that.
Well, all it does is act as a mouse.
I still don't have. A lot bigger than the red.
Very esoteric. They did big cows already.
Nah, originally it was supposed to be just a yellow and red present. Does that make like that?
You're right. I'm gonna give them a free too.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I think I have one.
Because if you didn't get it, the buzzsaw.
They're all actual sound clips of our cat. Actually, start cat around the house.
Just a quick suggestion, I'll just probably have the description of your drawing be on top. Just like landscape on top instead on the side.
Yeah, the first impression. Don't question that.
That's a good goal.
Oh, your laptop. Yeah, let's do it.
That one. You're not gonna take it. You can get the buzzsaw.
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
I'm bad.
Minecraft. It looks better than the Minecraft movie.
Very fast. Go for it. You gotta play some good on Steam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the Steam community.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like straight up like care systems. I think that's also. It's not saying.
So this is the Big Bro video game. I remember this. I think I posted something on it. Yeah, so. Also, I was curious what happened if you have 0 watches. Nothing was out. You act, you had one. What I used to do is like if even the day, that's what.
Right.
Reverse it. You're getting about first thing. Okay, I'll try that. So sorry about that. Four was way too much. 3 hours.
You can't even beat your own game.
I feel like okay. About there, otherwise it's like.
Or not.
Oh,
Wow, really? Probably cap.
For sure. Go like share the law.
It's a very lawful. You should patent this.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, wait, Namco already did.
It's a wondering what I say. Yeah. It's kind of the thing I would show off. Bring your own game. Here we go. Saves everything.
Look at this. We'll hopefully finish the final.
Jason.
As soon as.
There we got a chat member.
Yes.
Eminem guy.
So as of right now.
Get his name.
Yeah, well, I was gonna think once I wanted to get people shoe size and the box on. And then the whole camera system that I've showed off, I let people to draw whatever they want. You know, if you slip out your guide, you know, they can use basic for a second. Draw, write their name, whatever they want to do. And they scan that system. It's just simple. It's a simple block jumping. Like a dinosaur, like you're going out here. So those blocks. I figured that would be kind of fun.
I just didn't know perspective or whatever, but I knew about tile maps. And I'm like, like this, but at least the board and tile map system out in a way in which I can control it as a
The camera system was actually very surprising to easily done. Basically, what I did was I put the camera onto a plane, like the camera feed onto a plane, and then I just take a screenshot, and the screenshot saves onto itself or something.
Yeah, so not that way. They don't. If it was more of a platform.
That is true. As long as you have your screenshot field smaller than your game, then you're always good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much.
Well, my thought was that what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the camera positions split it, and the paper will be to the screen or hold to the camera feed, and then on the screen, because I'm controlling it via screenshot, I can determine the size of it. So therefore, if I see those two things, I'll be able to determine, oh, it's going to be this level less, and then the screenshot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know that's.
No, on the pieces of paper, they'll have a rectangle box on them, and then you're supposed to draw whatever inside the rectangle box. That's what's gonna get sent to it.
But like, wouldn't that make everything?
Yeah, because that's what I said, the game is, it's not, that advanced, you're not making your own players and stuff like that. You're just, adding artwork to it. The game is simply just, you have a block of things randomly selected to be complete. And so therefore, you can really show them, you cannot show up. I want it to be where the last image uploaded will be the main character. And then every other image is that obstacle that jump over. And it's an infinite slide. So that way the idea is that it will go back to the main menu and then you have the options play, upload, or otherwise. And then you upload, it'll pull up my screen capture system. And then you click.
Okay.
The idea was to keep it. I wanted it to be simple. If they really care, they can take as much time as they want on it without being on the game. One just wants to play the game.
Yeah. You gotta be there.
And so yeah, I would just load it to an array, and then that's the button to spawn it and decide what they want from the array. Yeah, just keep going. And then array treats bigger and bigger. Because I also wanted this thing visually. When anyone wants to make a picture, they just press, key for the picture or something. Pause the game for a second. It'll add the but I decided it'd be better to read those and have your picture. For that little thing. Every other picture in the file. And that way it also selects it to that possible every response.
And you're like,
what's the name of the workout event again? Because what I want to do at the end of this is I want to be able to upload as the itch and be like, hey, this is from this convention. You guys do it.
Right. Creators, we have 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn on the computers and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Does anyone have any last minute questions or issues?
Nada.
Let's head out anyway.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like, come to you with a lot of questions, maybe about it. Is what it was. I wanted to make you.
All right. Oh, yeah. Hi everyone. I'm busy with school. Don't worry about it. Right on MM Gaming Co. You be safe out there. Have fun. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Goodbye.